Hello, this is Shocker Drone 911, my 64 collection. I will also be doing another video on my Super Nintendo collection, just like what I did for the NES collection of like the good and the bad and the ugly. But that won't be till much later on. Right now I got a lot of homework to do, and it's been keeping me away from putting out videos for YouTube. Before I get to my 64 games though, I like to thank Peter O. It's little O, capital Peter, little O. I'd like to thank him for subscribing me. What he basically does is that he shows you how to get through parts of certain games that he has. He also shows his collection of what he also has as well, and what he thinks is good games. Like I said, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it, and hope you do well on your channel. Okay, my first game is GoldenEye right here. This is one of the far best movie games that they have really pretty much made for I think for the 64 at all. There's some bad games out there for games that were movies, but this one was actually good right here. It's a first-person shooter. It's actually very smooth of how they made it as well. There's also a lot of weapons. It follows the movie pretty well as well. So I suggest that you get GoldenEye for the 64. A game that I never played yet, but I heard there's a lot of good reviews on it. It is Forsaken 64. There's also a PS1 game that's called Forsaken, but they don't call it Forsaken 64. It's kind of funny how every 64 game you pretty much have to end it with 64. But anyway, this is just another first-person shooter. Like I said, I never played it, but like I said, I guess there's a lot of good reviews about this game right here. It is Forsaken 64. A game that I really did not care for. It is War Gods. It's just a basic fighting game. It is like, I gotta say, like Mortal Kombat 64 without blood. It's not that great of a game. Mortal Kombat games were much better than this one right here. It's not as good as the Mortal Kombat Part 4, but if you like good fighting games, War Gods is probably your game. Like I said, I did not care for it. The controls were very clunky at times when I was playing it. I would most likely say that this is more of a pass right here, but if you find it, it's only like $2 for this game right here. Like I said, it's just a basic fighting game like Mortal Kombat, just much lamer. But a game I do enjoy still, it is Star Fox 64. Just a space shooter game that's still awesome. Out of all the Star Fox games, actually, it's even better than the Super Nintendo one with how it looked with the polygons and all that. This game is far, far better. It is even better than the GameCube ones that they made out, especially the last one they made. Now, the last one they made, it looked like it was starting out good with the first level, but then all of a sudden it just went downhill big time. I suggest that you get Star Fox 64 here. It's still fun, even if you beat it and try to get all the ribbons for the planets. If you beat a certain amount of enemies, you get ribbons for higher points. So I suggest that you get Star Fox 64. Awesome game. One of the best. This is the best Star Fox game that they made. Now my favorite Zelda game, Ocarina of Time, where they got the day-night mechanics correct, other than what Simon's Quest was trying to do with that god-awful crap of a game right there. This game did well with the day-night mechanics. Pretty much of the story is that Ganon is trying to rule Hyrule, and Zelda needs to get away, so he gives Link the Ocarina of Time, which makes him become an adult later on. Oh, wait, no. He pulls out the sword to become an adult. Actually, I'm not sure really how that works right there. But this game is awesome as hell right here. Beat this game several times right here. Like I said, it's one of my favorites. They got the day-night mechanics Correct. The bosses are awesome as hell, especially the two witches right there, the very last one of the desert world. The music is also awesome as hell. I suggest that you get Ocarina of Time, the best Zelda game they made. But a Zelda game that people kind of like and kind of didn't like, it is Majora's Mask right here. This game is one of the darkest Zelda games out there. The music is very eerie. Not the environments are eerie as well. It's just like the Ocarina of Time type. But the music is very eerie. The main villain, he's creepy as hell. And then you see you look up, you see the moon with a big ass grin on its face coming down at you every day. I think you only got 3 days to beat the game, but you don't got like actually 3 days to beat the game. You gotta go through go back through time every time it goes up to the last day, and you got very little time left. But that's the thing that was the problem about this game, is that if you get to the main boss, you only got so many minutes left, you're most likely going to have to go back in time and go through that whole entire dungeon again. That was probably the main problem of this game right here. But I still like this game right here. You just got to get through that part, which is annoying as hell. And there's also a lot of people that didn't like about the whole collecting of masks. But I did like this game right here. It is Majora's Mask. I suggest that you pick it up. It's one of the eeriest Zelda games out there. What's time about left? A lot of time. Okay. Next game. It is also somewhat of a mixed review. It is Castlevania for the 64. I love this game right here. You can either play as Reinhardt, Alucard, or not. Yeah, Reinhardt. And now you can also play as Carrie. She pretty much is more of a witch character that uses magic for attacks. Reinhardt uses, of course, the whip, and I think there's a button they can press for the sword. But this game, I believe that this is probably one of my favorite. Well, no, I gotta say this isn't my favorite Castlevania game, but it is I believe, pretty much one of the good ones, really good ones right here. Especially the very last battle where you had to face Dracula. If you get the good ending, you gotta face Dracula's servant, Dracula himself. Then you gotta face Dracula as a dragon, like centipede, and like a desert or something like that. Now that was awesome as hell. That thing was cool right there. Out of all the Castlevania games, that Dracula was the best of them all right there. I've never played the the Game Boy ones or how they looked for the Dracula last bosses, but I gotta say this is the best one of them all right here, of how Dracula became that prehistoric dragon-like centipede. That is the strangest thing of how he looked as well, because you really don't see him turning into something like that right there. But I also gotta say, part 3 of for the NES one, that was cool as hell. You had to face him 3 times. This one, this Dracula-like character comes awesome at the very end right there. But there's also a bad ending where you don't face Dracula. You gotta face this priest or something like that. I never got that right there. I always got the good ending. But if you also play as Reinhardt, you also you can face death, and if you play as Carrie, you gotta face a wizard, not a wizard, but a witch, who pretty much uses a bunch of crystals to try to attack. But that's her attack, her attack right there is by shooting a bunch of crystals at you. But I gotta say, if you were a big Castlevania fan, and if you've never seen how cool of Dracula can become, I suggest that you get Castlevania 64 right here. Awesome, awesome game. Well, that's it for now. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, make some comments, and I shall never quit gaming.